Hello friends, Coach Bob with you here today, and today we're going to do a little channel catch-up. It's going to be a good day today. A lot of questions have been asked about our trip, so I've written quite a few of them down, and we're just going to take a little bit of time and talk about things today and get caught up on the direction of the channel, what's next, the Spyder, and like I said, just a litany of questions that you've asked, and also a few other things that we're going to start on the channel here really soon. So going to be a good episode. Sit down, grab you a cup of coffee, and join us, because the effervescent Coach Vic will be right here. As you can see, I have now been joined by
the effervescent Coach Vic.
Of course. All right. So we want to do a couple of things, channel catch up and a few things. One off, there's a car coming down the road. It's going to make noise. Let's let him get on by. First off, thank you so much for the views, the subscribers, all of you guys, man, you've done so well. We are over 1,400 subscribers. We are up 500 subscribers in the last 40 days.
Very nice.
So the channel is growing. We appreciate it. If you would do me a favor, keep sharing it, help it grow. One thing I have learned in life, if something's not growing, it's dying. And so we do want to keep the channel growing. We're going to try to keep it as interesting as we can. We want it to be as diverse and as fun as it can possibly be, which leads me to the next question, because I've had this question several times since we've gotten back, and that is, what's next? Which is a good question, and one, honestly, we don't have the answer to, because you really, in life, we never know what is truly next, do we?
No. I have some ideas, though. What
are your ideas? You got one or two? What are you thinking?
Can I say that?
You can say whatever you want.
I think Coach Bob should do Sunday devotionals.
We have had several suggestions for that, by the way.
Comment if you're interested.
What she's talking about, I had several folks who have mentioned that, or our faith is a big part of this channel. We don't put on a show. It's not a shtick. It's not something we do. I mean, I think what you see on this channel is pretty representative of what we really are. So if I do a devotional series, what it will be is it will come out every Sunday morning. It will not be replacing something. It will be an addition to. So it would be something that if you're interested in it, you can watch it. If you're not, just don't tune in for it. But it would be Sunday mornings. That's something that definitely I've been asked by half a dozen of my friends, maybe 5 or 6 subscribers, and just a few other folks thought it might be a nice addition to what we do.
So that could be an idea.
So there's one idea. Another one was, and these are all adding things. The goal right now is 2 motorcycle slant Spyder videos a week. So that could be a gear review, Triumph Speed Triple thing, or a CanAm Spyder thing, a trip, a lunch, something on the Spyder or the motorcycle. So we're definitely going to keep 2 a week, motorcycle specific. A possible third one that we may start soon. I had a lot of questions about video, editing software, cameras, that sort of stuff for folks that are wanting to start a YouTube channel. And you know what? That's kind of the natural thing, I think. If you're a motorcycle or Spyder person, you watch folks like Coach Vic and I, and you go, man, we'd like to share our adventures too, and we would like for you to share them because we'd love to watch them. So if we can help your channel grow, we'll do it. In the comment section down below, if you have a channel and you want to plug it, I invite you to plug it. There are many channels, and I've seen this, that can get ugly, man. It can get very competitive out there, and people want your channel kind of to die so that theirs may grow. We're not that way at all. We want your channel to grow, and if ours is designed to grow, guess what? It'll grow anyway. So that's just the way it is. I want your channel to grow, though. Man, there are so many channels out there that I absolutely love, and I want them to grow. So devotionals, motorcycle videos, how to do the YouTube thing. That's a few things we're going to do. Next big trip. We've got some camera footage from a trip we recently did going up to Eufaula, Alabama. We hope to have that up next week. We've got some suggestions of places to go. By the way, keep sending those. I got a suggestion today by one of our subscribers about us going to a restaurant over in St. Augustine, a hamburger place.
I want to do that.
And hopefully, I have not checked to see, but if that's possible, what we'll do is we will communicate, we'll coordinate, and you notice I'm not mentioning names. A lot of times I don't mention names till I have an opportunity to talk with the person. Some people don't like their name shared on the internet. But if we had an opportunity to meet that person over there and have a meal with them,
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. And you know what? Those are the kind of things that we're looking to do. The number one question, we're going to get to that first because there are some people who may not be interested in the rest of the questions, but I think everyone is interested in this one.
What's the big question?
All right. That is, how much did this trip cost? What does it cost to get on a CanAm Spyder and cross the country twice? What does it take? Am I rich enough to do it? Do I have enough time? And the answer is, you are rich enough to do it and you have enough time. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? Because in order to have enough time, unless you're retired, you've got to put the miles in. And there is nothing wrong with putting miles in. I had friends of mine that are like the kind of people, and I say that, I don't mean that in an ugly way. There are two kinds of tours that I've seen. There's probably way more than that. But one is the person who likes to do very short distances and a lot of day looking. Coach Vic is one of them. She prefers that. I am the other guy. I'm the guy that wants to put in 600 miles a day in and day out, and love every second of that. I think you can meet in the middle and do that between 400 and 500 miles a day, and you can definitely, on a 2-week vacation, you can cross this country. You can go out, you can go back. You can do it. It can be done. And you don't have to be young, and you don't have to be super fit to do it. With a modicum of strength and discipline, you can do it, I guarantee you. Now, let's talk about dollars and cents. Coach Vic has pulled every receipt of everything that we've done. So let's talk first about fuel. How much did we spend in fuel alone?
$436.
$436. That's how much fuel it cost to go from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and back to the Atlantic Ocean. That's what it cost, $436. Gas, you gotta have. You obviously ain't going anywhere without that. The other thing you have to have is a place to stay. Now, 2 of the nights on our trip, and the reason I'm saying 2, the last night of the trip out there, and the second to and the last night on the trip back, we did not stay in motel rooms. You can add a little bit to this number. You could probably, if you're not going to stay with friends or family or do anything like that, if you're simply going to cross country and come back, you can add 2, maybe 3 nights to motel stays. Motel, hotel, whatever. Those ran an average of $100 to $110. Coach Vic, how much did we spend on lodging?
$855.
$855. So you may spend $300 more than that if you do a hotel every single night. And if you can't, you can do it for way cheaper than that. Coach Vic, we've got fuel and hotels. Now, our evening meals, I'm mentioning specifically our evening meals for a reason. What did we spend on our evening meals?
$235.
$235. And then we had gas station snacks.
Gas station snacks, and it'd be $135.
$135. What other things did you have on?
I did miscellaneous shopping, $145.
So the grand total of our trip,
with hotels, gas, dinners, our gas station snacks, and miscellaneous stuff, souvenirs and gifts, little things like that, that came out to be $1,805. Less than $2,000 we spent to cross this continent twice. So I would say that if you were going to spend an extra couple of nights, $2,100. You could do this trip 2 up
pulling a trailer for $2,100. There it is.
Less than $2,000.
Yeah, we spent less than $2,000.
Very good.
So it is definitely a doable thing. So that was the biggest question we had. I've probably been emailed and commented with that question 20 times.
And Coach Bob told me another question people had asked was what we did for meals. So we mostly did dinners. We had coffee at the hotel in the morning, and lunches. I tried to pack in some lunch meat in a cooler, but that didn't last but like 2 days. But other than that, we did not eat lunch at all because we weren't comfortable eating lunch. We had coffee in the morning, maybe with a granola bar or something, and then we didn't eat until dinner time.
But you had crackers.
I had crackers.
Little
things like that.
We nibbled.
We nibbled, but the lunch meat kind of went bad. We didn't like it, so we didn't basically eat lunch.
If you're going to carry like a lunch meat type thing, what I would recommend, and we had a Yeti soft side cooler, which by the way I will tell you, the Yeti soft side's fine, but I think if you're going to buy a cooler and you expect the ice to last really a long time, you're going to have to do better than a Yeti soft side.
Right.
It just didn't
Right.
do what we needed to do. So there that is. That's the cost of the trip. Pretty easy. We kept up with everything. We spent, like we said, another $300 or so on jackets and stuff that we did not have to buy. We did not need them for the trip. I wanted a new jacket for riding Oxford, and that's why I bought the Alpinestars. I love that jacket. It's a great jacket. Coach Vic got her new jacket. She was growing very weary of the white jacket that she was wearing. She said it made her look like a dude.
A dude.
So
the other one looks nice.
The other one looks more.
My Bilt looks nice. More feminine.
Your
Girly.
Bilt makes you look built.
Makes me look girly.
Okay, very nice. All right. Here was another question, and this was for Coach Vic, and and it actually said, this is a real question. So they had to put the caveat to let us know that they weren't being sarcastic. And Coach Vic has not read this question, so I'm going to spring it on him.
Oh, okay.
So Coach Vic.
Yes.
Does Coach Bob really talk to everybody?
Yes. Coach Bob talks to everybody. I knew when we get somewhere, this is going to be a long gas break because he will talk to everybody. People come to him and ask questions, and he also sees people and goes to them and starts commenting on what they're doing. So the conversation, one time we were in Williams, Arizona. We were there for over an hour talking. Oh, and then coming back into Florida and Pensacola, another hour.
Yeah.
Our gas station stops were long, but yes, he talks to everybody. It is true. And I've learned to do the same thing. Say hi to people and start conversations. But yes, he is a gabber. And we're home all day long. Yes. He talks a lot.
This was sent in an email and asked privately from a gentleman who is wanting to start traveling with his wife. And he asked me this question. And he also put, I have a real question for you. So there was a caveat there. How do you stay so happy, so positive, and not argue when you're tired?
You just do.
Man, I'm telling you, she can explain some business.
I don't explain, I just do. You just have to.
I will tell you that there's this thing where Stephen Covey talks about exercising integrity at the moment of choice. You literally have to choose to get up in the morning and be happy. Your default will not be happy. When you're tired, it will be grouchy. It can be an unkind word. It can be a nasty look. So that's what happens when human beings get tired. So you really do have to flip that switch and choose to be sensitive to your traveling partner. Coach Vic was very sensitive to me. She was very complimenting on this trip. I probably received more compliments from Coach Vic on this trip than I have in a long, long time.
True. I don't compliment a lot.
All right, so
but anyway, it doesn't mean he's a great guy. It's just I'm more of a quiet person. But anyway,
okay.
You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be happy, and you can choose to be unhappy. You have to just choose to be happy. We all have good days. We all have bad days, but you have to have more good days than bad days.
True. Here's the other one. Did you really assemble / disassemble a wheelchair 100 times? And if so, you may be crazy.
Yes, he did.
So, am I crazy?
Yeah.
I'm crazy about you.
You better be.
All right. So
But
yes.
that did.
Yes, we really
Yes,
did.
I even want to rig something for our next trip to where we have to take it apart all the time. But yes, it did. It was taken apart a lot.
Which leads to the next question that we've been asked probably almost as much as how much this costs. And that was, why are you still running a standard seat? Why aren't you running the ultimate seat or the Corbin, something with that fuel door in the seat, so you don't have to take Coach Vic off the motorcycle every time you stop?
Well, I like getting off. I like it to stretch.
There's the real answer.
I need to get off and stretch anyway, so.
Right. So we're dealing with circulation issues, pressure sores, and
plus I might want an icy or a Slim Jim. So,
right.
And he won't go get it for me, so I have to go get it. And I might want something different that he doesn't know I want, but I like to get off and move around.
Just like we like to get off and stretch our legs, and we would never think of saying, well, we'll just sit here and put gas on the Spyder, or put gas on the Spyder. We'll just sit here, and even though our body's aching and we're cramping up, we need to get up and kind of move around.
Yeah.
Same holds true with Coach Vic. So as inconvenient as that thing is, that's what it takes to get her up and get her moving around. So that's why the seat, although it would be nice to have at times, if we were just gonna, run, go get a cup of coffee and it was low on fuel, and I just wanted to run, go put fuel in it on the way to the coffee shop, it would be convenient then.
That'd be convenient.
But for the 2,000 mile trip, it really wouldn't make a difference for us. So, we talked about gas mileage. I'm mid 31, whatever, 31.8, something like that. The trailer, you don't know it's there.
Nope.
How smooth is the Spyder? Very smooth. Did the weight of us and the gear affect the handling of it? Not really. Not
Didn't
really.
even know it was there.
I mean, you'll feel that your acceleration isn't quite what it normally is, which, I don't consider the Spyder, from being a two-wheel guy, the Spyder is not what I would consider a rocket ship anyway. So, but for a tour, it does just fine. It's going to accelerate not as rapidly, and it's not going to stop as rapidly. So you do need to think about those things as the driver. Do you experience hand pain? Here and there, but not much. One of the things that you learn as a motorcycle guy, when you're doing anything like radical, whether it's racing or riding for long periods of time, is that really you're not supposed to be death gripping the handlebars anyway. So if your hand is relaxed on there, I think you're going to find that what's going to get more tired is your core, because you're not using your arms to support your body, and that's something that you're not supposed to do anyway. So, but no, my hands don't really hurt bad. Maintenance issues. Did I have any maintenance issues?
On the trip? No.
Nope. Very, very pleased with that. Like I said, we hit a spot in the road that I don't know how it didn't break the back wheel or knock it off. It was so hard.
Yeah.
But everything stayed in alignment and everything worked. Oh, here's another one I was asked several times. The little Spyder grills that I put on the front, where I talked about the Hoover effect, where the Spyder likes to vacuum up bugs and leaves and suck all that stuff in there. Did they work? Did they keep debris out of that area? Yes. Did they keep all of it out? No. But they did keep a lot of it out. Would I recommend them? Yes, I would.
And they look kind of cool.
They do look good. But I think just as an accessory, they do keep some of the debris out of there, and it's been a much easier cleanup for me. I did not clean them one time on a 5,000 mile trip. And when I got home, they were reasonable. They weren't as bad as what I've seen on a 100-mile trip here. So yeah, I think they work. I think they cut out 80–90% of the junk that gets in there. They won't get all of it. What type of fuel did you run? Did you run any additives? We ran premium fuel, 0 additives. We did not run non-ethanol fuel in it. We did not put any sort of octane boost, none of that. We ran standard high premium fuel, 91 octane. That's what we ran. The Spyder ran great. And you saw from our gas cost, it was expensive, but it wasn't exorbitantly expensive. What would you say, $436?
Yes, $436. Yeah.
Yes. So $436 to go across the country twice. I think that's reasonable. Did you have any security problems? Now, I mentioned this in one of our videos 2 or 3 times. One time we had a guy trying to sell us stolen items. He was kind of lingering around the Spyder a little bit, but not too bad. He really wasn't a problem. Twice, I had to literally stand between the trailer and someone who was actually leaning in the trailer.
I was oblivious. He was checking it out. He saw all of it.
When you pack, if you have something that is of great value, make sure that it is not at hand's reach for somebody to walk behind your trailer, grab it and run.
Right.
So, you know, the stuff that we had in the back, nobody really want. Well, actually, we really didn't have anything in the very, very back of it. It was kind of up in the front. So they have to lean into the trailer and reach down. This was another one I was asked. 2 wheels or 3 wheels, Coach? If you could only have one, what would it be?
I say 3. What I would say. So what were you gonna say?
Here's my answer. If I were a single Bob, which I am not, and I have no desire to be, I would ride 2 wheels. I would. I ride aggressively and I ride like an idiot, and I enjoy doing that. And I would probably die much younger. Where I am in my life now, if I had to make the actual choice right now, I'll go with 3 wheels all day long.
Uh-huh.
Without hesitation.
Yep.
The time that I've spent with Coach Vic, the stability on the road, all of the things, everything set aside, I find myself, when I'm in a hurry and I want to get my face in the wind, I grab the Spyder key.
It just makes sense. Why would you get on a motorcycle when you have to lean and lose your balance and your knees hurt and your back hurts and you're not stable? Just get on the... My sister actually admitted she liked the Can-Am and she likes to ride the Harley. She actually sat there and thought about it for a moment there because she came to visit and she drove it. Anyway, it makes sense.
So it does. It does make sense. The Spyder's been great for our relationship. It's been great for travel. I can tell you that if it weren't for the Spyder, we would have never crossed North America. We just wouldn't have been able to do it. Now, is it possible? I guess it is, but it ain't possible for our age and what we're doing and paralysis and wheelchairs and all that. It'd take a better man than me. It just would. I'm just being honest with you.
On 2 wheels.
Yes, on 2 wheels.
No,
it would take a better man than me. It's hard.
Yeah.
The wheelchair adds a whole new twist to it. And we never complain about it. We don't. But to say that it doesn't make things more complex, more exhaustive, it just does.
It does. But
that's just the way it is. So, but to deny it would be silly, but it would be 3 wheels, hands down. And like I said, if I'm just going to grab a key to go,
yeah, he does.
I'm grabbing the Spyder key.
He does. Yeah.
If I'm going to go for a ride on Oxford, man, I'm suiting up. I'm getting my head in the game. It's a different thing. I have to really get my head in the game because I know that what I'm going to do is, in the way that I feel on it, in the way that I behave on it, it is inherently more dangerous
I don't like it.
than riding a Spyder.
I don't like it.
It just is. So, and I love it. I love it. So I'm not putting it down. I'm not telling you not to buy 2 wheels. I'm just telling you, as a 58-year-old man, it's different. It is different, and I do enjoy the Spyder. Just the utilitarian and the peace and safety of it. So, yes. I mentioned this earlier that we're going to be doing some videos in the future, but a question that I've been asked at least 10 times. What kind of cameras are you using? What kind of editing software are you using? And how much time are you spending? Let me start with the cameras. Up until now, we've used nothing but Hero 7 Blacks. That's what we use. I've got 2 Hero 7 Blacks. We recently acquired an 8. We'll see how we like the 8. Who knows? We may like the 7 better. I use a helmet mount. We've got a suction cup mount. We've got a little mini tripod, that sort of thing, and we just work with it. I'm very patient with the camera stuff. I'm filming in 1080p, 60 frames a second. For you camera guys looking out there to know that. I will tell you, everything that I've seen with me and not with you, not with other guys that are real photographers. I'm not a real photographer. I'm Coach Bob. I was a music guy. I was an artist. I have the way I want to see things. I always take away yellows and add blues. Always. That's what I do. And I find that it's the reason I do that is because I think that the GoPro is too yellow with not enough blue, and if it were a more expensive DSLR mirrorless camera, that I wouldn't have to do that. So, but that's what I do. So the cameras. As far as the editing software, I'm using iMovie. iMovie is the basic program that comes with your Apple computers, whether it be a laptop, an iMac, or whatever. iMovie's on there. In fact, it's even on your iPad, and you can.
iPhone too.
Yes, you can edit off of an iPad. It is slow as molasses in a Michigan winter, but you can do it. Microphone-wise, I'm using the microphones on cameras, and I've got a condenser microphone that I use in my little office slant studio, whatever you want to call it, and I'll show you all that as we do our little additional episodes to show you how to run all that.
How much time does it take?
Oh, time. A lot.
A lot.
A lot. I will tell you.
But it's gotten faster with it.
It has.
It used to be like all day, but he can get a video done in less than a day now. I mean, he
less
really?
than a day.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
less than a day.
You
Yes.
can get some done less, but it used to be like hours, like morning till night till late night. He's gotten a lot better.
I have, depending on how busy I am that day, I've been known to put it off, go in the office at 8 o'clock in the evening time so that I'm not being bothered by things in the daytime, phone ringing, that sort of stuff, and edit till 3 in the morning. 7-8 hours, I don't think is out of the question for a 45-minute video.
Right.
I'm going to spend 7-8 hours on that.
Right.
If we're traveling.
Right.
On a video like this, 2 hours.
A lot quicker, yeah.
2 hours of editing. Then you have to render it and upload it to YouTube, and then you have to set your labels and all that stuff. And I'll show you how to do all that. It really is not difficult. If you want to be a YouTuber, I say be a YouTuber. You know, I was also asked this: are you getting paid to do it? Our channel recently got monetized, and we're averaging, what do we say, $4 a day. That's what we're making, $4 a day. Now, if you look at the amount of time that I'm putting into it, I'm probably making about 50 cents an hour, maybe.
But we're not doing it for the money. Or he's not doing it for the money.
But I don't care. So
it's just for fun. It's fun.
how you doing, man?
How are you, my friend?
Good,
right.
good. I get paid or not get paid, it doesn't matter to me. We never started this with the idea of making money.
The goal was just fun to see if we can get monetized.
Right.
That was just a fun goal to see.
I wanted to see if we could do this together. I was challenged by my friends. My son told me I was an old man who was going to get his feelings hurt.
Because it wouldn't happen.
And
but it did.
And so here we are now at 1,400. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to get monetized, and 4,000 hours of views in a year.
He's
This
way
year,
above that.
This year alone, since January, we've gotten over 17,000 hours. Not 17,000 views. We've gotten over 17,000 hours of views since January. Pretty amazing. You guys did that.
Yep.
We're grateful. Now, hopefully this video comes out. It's dark out here now. It's misting rain. Could be on the lens, and if it does, I'm just going to have to deal with it. But it's where we are. So, Coach Vic, do you have any epiphanies, any words of wisdom that you would like to share with wives about your experience, about traveling? Do you have anything?
I just say get out and do it, because when he asked me to do it and I said no, and then when he asked my daughter to go, that was my wait a minute, I'm gonna go. So I just took a deep breath and said, yeah, I like to go, but on 3 wheels. And it's a trip of a lifetime I'll never forget. I'm looking forward to our next one. I'm hoping we can do a long trip in May of 2021. I just say, I don't know, I'm very simple. Just go out and do it, because we're getting older and life is getting, I guess, shorter. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you got to get out and have some adventure. Sitting around all day doing nothing is not. You got to get out and you have to get out and have adventure. And that to me is an adventure, because If I was walking, of course, I'd probably be doing lots of other things, but this to me is the adventure for me for right now. And riding is it's fun.
All right, Coach Vic, I have 2 questions for you. 1, are you happy to be home?
Yes. But I missed all the freedom on the road.
That was my next question. Do you miss?
I miss
being on the road?
I missed the road. That was, I never thought I would enjoy it as much as I did. Just going out there, not knowing what the next day is going to be, and just playing. I just enjoyed the playing. I'm responsible. I take care of the house. I take care of my husband. I take care of the last daughters getting married. I'm taking care of that. But being out on the road and the freedom, that was just exhilarating. I could have done that for 6 months. Well, let me start with 3 months. Let me start with a month and then 3 months. I could have done that for a long time.
I will tell you, I am glad to be home. I have been wandering around a bit. I've been a little lost since we got home.
He has been. But
I'm
trying to get him back to reality. This is reality. You got to live. Now you have to live reality.
As I've said on the road, and I've said since I've gotten back, and I even said this before I left, I've been on long sailing trips. I love to travel. I love the change in scenery. I love the change in climate. I don't care if it's 120 degrees. I don't care if it's 10 below. I love it all. I love it all. I love the sting in my face when it's cold. It lets me know I'm alive. I love the pain of the heat because it tells me you're living, man. And I love every second of it. So I have been lost, and as you can see from my yard, I'm getting it together though.
Well, you got to make every day, even your mundane days, an adventure. You have to just get up and live. Just make a choice to live.
So life is busy. Life is good. We're going to keep the videos. I'm deciding right now. I'm thinking Wednesday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Friday, as far as when we post videos.
Every now and then you'll have a day where you go. You miss a day or go the next day. Just depends on things happening.
Right. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's going to be, once we lock in, it'll be 2 days a week at 8 a.m. unless there's a mechanical problem with the computer or the internet, or sometimes YouTube, it won't upload for whatever reason. So when those things happen, we can't help that.
Right.
But it is starting to rain, and I don't want Coach Vic to melt because she's sugar sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So until next time, go out, buy the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun,
you're doing it wrong. And don't do it wrong.
And what do you always say?
You can if you try, and you can't if you cry. And we ain't crying.
No, we're not. Now, go seize the day.
Yep.